What's good, everyone, and welcome back to the Waterboy channel. We are gonna flip the script a little bit, and we're
Mhm.
not gonna give you our predictions for every game this week. We are gonna give you our top 5 predictions. So that means if you're salty you didn't hear your team, maybe they garbage, or maybe they in a garbage matchup. But we
Pretty
want to
much.
cover the key matchups, maybe key upsets to get you ahead for week 8. And without further ado, we will jump into our 5th matchup, which would be the Patriots going into LA and taking the Chargers. Tim, it's your team. Let us know what's good.
Word. Now, as a Chargers fan, this kind of tastes like vinegar to say, but um, I'm low key not picking my team this week. I'm looking for Bill Belichick to give Herbie a bunch of different looks that he's not accustomed to seeing, and trying to get him to, be a little too over aggressive, as his tendency usually is. But the only question about that is I don't really believe the Patriots all the way have all the talent to be able to stop them all game, but I think they can do enough to squeeze out a game, like one of those close kind of games. At the same time, Patriots got a nice good pass rush coming from Matt Judon. He's got to the quarterback again at good times, and it's not looking good when that's the case with Herbie. But they just came off of a bye week. I'm pretty sure they watched the tape on what the Ravens did with them over and over and over and over again, and found probably where they went wrong. So I'm looking to see, like, do they come out of the bye week and then they make these adjustments, and they're not coming out there and being too over aggressive, and they're taking what the defense gives them, and then baiting them with, say, the run game, and then hitting them over the top with play action or some stuff like that. But if not, Bill Belichick and the Patriots can squeeze out one of these games. It's definitely on the upset radar for the week, because I'm sure Chargers would be a favorite in this, but we never know. The Sith Lord is real. Chris, what you got?
So I'm probably still going to edge the Chargers just because I got a lot more talent, and I see where you're coming from as well.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be key components that might be missing. We don't know what Austin Eckler is going to be as well. But the two things the Chargers struggle the most with is what Patriots do really well with, and they got really good defense. And as well, Patriots, the way they succeed on offense is they run the ball, and unless the Chargers figured out how to do that on their bye week, they don't know how to stop the run for the life of them. And if the Patriots can manage the game, I can see the Patriots winning it. Now, it is in LA. I do think a bye week is refreshing, definitely midway through the season, get to relax and all that. Even without Eckler, you guys still do have good running backs back there as well. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Jared Cook. I just think it's too much. And like you said, Patriots will get their stops here and there. I just don't think it'll be a whole game thing, and I think that's what will have the Chargers prevail. The talent is just way more. Now, the defense, if they let Mac Jones get into a persistent rhythm, which is where he's just dinking and dunking and he gets his completions, that could be a struggle as well because he is a perfect game manager quarterback. And if you get that rhythm with the running game, yeah, Chargers can be in for a long day. I don't know. I just don't see it working out that perfectly though. So I'm going to edge the Chargers in this one.
Where I think it's going to come down to probably the last possession, one of these kind of games, but definitely nail biting my way through these.
Yeah, and now we're gonna dive into it's gonna be an interesting one as well. We got Cleveland becoming, I guess, fully healthy, maybe not to the extent that everyone wants it to be, but they should have Baker and Nick Chubb back, but it'll be Pittsburgh
Hmm.
going into Cleveland. How you feeling on it?
All right. Pittsburgh, Cleveland. I think Cleveland can pull it off if Baker Mayfield can get the ball in the hands of his superstars, let go of whatever these underlying problems are that might be with the man Odell. But dude, you got to get him some touches. You got to start with slants, starts with little curls, little screen routes, just something, just get it there and just really feed them. But at the same time, the Steelers offense versus the Browns defense. I mean, the Browns defense is pretty darn stout. It's mostly, either their offense at the end of the game, but then at the same time, they've given up 40 and 30-point games and swings here and there. So they're kind of bipolar and kind of all over the place. So we'll see what kind of game they come out with. But at the same time, it's a rivalry game. So it's definitely gonna come down to who wants it more. And that's usually who's gonna be the one to win it. I got the Browns winning this one though. Just I can't really bet on the Steelers offense is so hit or miss. Their offense is bipolar, and the defense of the Browns is also kind of bipolar. So let's kind of see what we get here.
Now, I'm going to take the Browns too as well, but my perspective is going to be a little different than Tim's because I think it's going to be mostly a run heavy from both sides. I think the running backs are going to be the ones who determine this game and manage the game between Najee Harris or Nick Chubb. Now, Nick Chubb, I don't know how completely 100% healthy he is, but they also got the kid Johnson who proved himself. They don't got Hunt still, so we'll see how that goes as well. But Harris, he's a big beneficial factor for the Steelers. He's good in the receiving game and the running game. That's where they're going to factor it the most. Both defenses are stout as well, but Steelers is a little more stronger, so you got to give the edge there. It's kind of crazy though because both quarterbacks are dealing with the same injury. Like they both have bad shoulders, and
Mm-hmm.
I, I'm just interested to see how Baker is going to do because this is supposed to be a season-ending injury where he needed surgery, and to be back in 2 weeks, I'll see because that's why I think
Right.
the running game is going to be a huge factor in this because I just don't know if his shoulder will be able to stretch the field for him. And that's why I got it. I'll edge the Browns just because of the talent, but this is going to be like a 20-17 running defensive type of game. A lot of people won't want to watch this game because it won't be an offensive explosion. But if you're old school head, you will love this game. Now, the next game we're going to dive into is let's see. We got another division rivalry. It could be an upset too. The Saints have been very sneaky this year. A lot of people aren't paying attention. They got a good record. They're 4-2, and they're gonna actually Tampa's gonna go to them. And Tampa Bay hasn't been playing to their best as well with that hurt secondary. But they're still managing wins just because of their easy schedule. Let them know what your take is on it.
All right, this is another one of those division matchup games where actually the Saints have the upper hand in the matchups. I mean, even though it was an entirely different quarterback the last time they played, it just seems like Sean Payton kind of has that team's number a little bit. It kind of seems like that. It might not be the case entirely, but they always perform well against them. They beat them the last two times, and the last time they did actually have Tom Brady. So I mean, let's see what that is. And they are hobbled in the secondary. And Jameis has been playing. He hasn't turned the ball over. So can he take what the defense gives him? Can their defense stop Tom Brady? I don't know. Might be a little bit too much, but I'm actually going to take the Bucks.
And I feel you on that too. It's just like I think the Bucks will win. It's just hard to pick against Brady, but the Saints do have a great matchup on their hand. One, it's in New Orleans. We know it gets loud. Two, that secondary for the Bucks is atrocious. They're missing everybody. Like I think everybody's a backup, which is crazy. Which will exploit a lot too. Like you said, we don't know about Michael Thomas, but this would be a good week. Alvin Kamara started popping off. Get him more involved in the receiving game, and as you guys do know
Mhm.
and saw as well, it also helps. Like people just thought maybe this would just be a write off for him just to go back home. But Mark Ingram is back with New Orleans as well. And I think that helps a lot because he can run the ball. You put Kamara as a wide receiver. Kamara's been known to get 1,000 receptions in a season. He's been that type of running back that can help open up the Saints offense just because they're missing receivers. All of them are backups as well. Like you said, I don't think Mike Thomas is playing. So this will be a heavy loaded game for Kamara. Ingram, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets a lot of carries in this game as well. When I mean a lot, I mean like 10 plus. I'm not saying workload 2025. He's not that running back anymore, but it won't hurt Kamara for you fantasy owners as well. He's going to get his receptions, and that's the type of back he is. I still got to edge the Bucks. It's just hard to pick against them, and I don't want to be the one to do that.
Next.
Next game we got the Tennessee Titans, the hot Tennessee Titans, taking over the
Mm.
AFC, destroying the Bills, taking out KC. They get a division foe in the Indianapolis Colts, which could be a fun one and it could be a different experience than the last two teams they face. Let me know what
Mm.
you're thinking.
Word. Just the way you said it was going to be a smash mouth game with them Browns on them Steelers. This is definitely going to be that. That's going to be the epitome of smash mouth. And the question is, which front seven on either side can slow down the opposite side? Are you going to actually be able to contain Derrick Henry, Colts front seven, Leonard, Buckner, the rest of them boys? Can you contain Henry? You know he's coming. It's no secret. It really isn't. It's sad how like he's unstoppable. You know exactly what's coming, and you just can't do nothing about it. But on the other end, Jonathan Taylor has been, carving his way
Mhm.
through defenses. He's been breaking off a lot of chunk yardage. So same thing on the Tennessee Titan side, because if he can get to you guys a secondary, He can have them 30, 40, 50 yard carries. I'm gonna lean more towards the Colts being able to pull off this upset. I'm upset of the week alert right now. Who you got, Chris?
Yeah, no, I'm liking India a lot, and they're both evenly matched as well too, like you were mentioning. I don't think they'll hold Henry completely, kind of like KC did last week. And even if you do hold them, you can see you still lose that game.
Mm-hmm.
But receiver matchups as well. Michael Pittman Jr. has been coming out strong. He's looking like a solid number one. I don't know if Ty is going to be 100% healthy back in this game, but
Yep.
something is just edging. Like I've been liking how the Colts have been playing lately, and you could tell they're starting to turn the corner. Like I was a big fan of them to start the season, and they let me down, and then they were struggling, and now it's like they're right in the ship, and they finally found out ways to succeed. And I think this will be a good, tough division matchup as well. It'll put them one game behind Tennessee and still alive for that division, which would be crazy. This
Yep.
AFC is wide, wide open for anybody to take. Like, there's so many good teams in the AFC this year. It could be anyone's game, and Colts want to be a part of that, and I think they can. I think Tennessee, and I know I said it with the Bills, and that was a chance for KC to capitalize. They could be on a high as well too. And when you play those division foes, they don't care. They'll take you out, and I think it'll be that type of game. And when the Colts played the Niners, I want to say last week in that rainstorm, like they proved they about that smash mouth action, and I think they're ready for it. I'm going to edge Indy in this one.
Next.
And now we gonna have fun. This is our game of the week, matchup of the week. We will have the Dallas Cowboys going into the Minnesota Vikings. We
Mhm.
all sleeping on Minnesota, and Tim, let them know what Minnesota provides to the table.
This is the shootout of the week alert. These are top five offenses we are watching. Both are averaging over 400 yards a game. But if I had to give the edge, I'm gonna give the edge more so to the Cowboys, even though both of these teams are built very similarly. This is finally a test for them because their last couple of games have been mad cupcake. The Vikings defense, they're riding along in the middle of the pack when it comes to the rankings and stats, but they always play pretty darn well, especially when they're following their assignments. I'm going to take them Cowboys. Dude, it's too much for them to stop. It's not that you take away one, you have to take away both because they're hitting on both passing, ranking top five, and running. Like, pick one. Slow down Dak or contain Zeke and Pollard. It really is pick your poison, and it's too many poisons to pick. And if you take two or three, you're gonna overdose and pass out anyway. So you're not gonna be able to. You're not gonna win this game. It's definitely gonna be a shootout. I'm thinking this is high 30s on both ends. Take the over. So take them Cowboys.
I'm gonna edge the Vikings just for every reason you gave to the Cowboys. Like you say, pick your
Mm,
poison and the complementary backs. Let's not act like Minnesota ain't got it too. Let's not act like Dalvin Cook could just be as good as Zeke. Let's not
true.
act like Alexander Madison is as good as Tony Pollard. Let's not act like Justin Jefferson ain't as good as Amari Cooper. And let's not act like Adam Thielen is as good as CD Lamb. They both bring
Mm,
the same exact thing. I
mm,
do like Minnesota's defense. They bring a different type of thing. Dallas, they do good in the secondary, but Minnesota, they do good in their front four, which means they get after the quarterback and they don't let you throw the ball. So if they can get to Dak and make sure that Dak can't stretch the field, that's a
mm-hmm,
different aspect in the game too. And we'll have to
mm-hmm,
see how Dak's ankle is as well. They don't know if he's 100%. I think he'll be out there ready to play, but
mm-hmm,
it just takes a couple hits. And if they know he hurt, they going to go after him and feast. Minnesota does also have a habit too where they will be winning a game and then it comes down to the fourth quarter and they're like the Falcons. They end up losing it. They got to overcome that as well. But these are two evenly matched teams. And I don't know. I just like Minnesota. People don't give Kirk Cousins the respect he deserves. He's
mm-mm,
averaging over 3 touchdowns a
mm-mm,
game. He's
mm.
averaging over 300 yards a game. Like he is that quarterback. People just don't like because he getting that money, but he living up to it right now, and he got Minnesota contending. The main thing that could change this game, and we all know, your defensive player of the year, chance to be MVP. If he can get a pick six, hey, I'm not going to count it against him because he easily could. But that could be your main factor. It's what defense will make the play in this game.
And this is a test for him because let's be real, whichever assignment that he picks, both of them run routes extraordinarily well, especially if he
Yep.
hits Thielen. If they line Thielen in front of him, please
Yep.
expect a double move. And let's be real,
Mhm,
Diggs has been beat big on double moves, and because he's so
mhm.
darn aggressive towards hawking that ball that he wants to gun it, he wants to go for it.
And I think like it would be hard to choose, but if I was Diggs, I'd probably want to take Jefferson just because Jefferson, yes, he provides the speed and that explosiveness, but as well as like his route tree is not as good as what Thielen is, and Thielen will make you look stupid with every move he puts on you.
I got to give credit where credit is due. You like the Cowboys defense has made an entire like flip around.
You say cupcake schedule, but New England still took them to overtime. Like
Hmm.
games they should be winning easily, and teams
Right,
are still in it, and that gives
right.
Minnesota hope for me because they're way more powerful than New England in my aspect. But with that, we are going to close this off. That was our top 5 matchups of the week, our top 5 predictions. Let us know what game you feel we missed out on down below. Maybe there's a matchup you think was way hotter and deserved to be in this list. But with that, take oh damn, he calling y'all out. But remember, take care. It really wasn't. It was as bad as almost as week 7. This was a struggle. You lucky we gave you 5. But with that, take care. Please do subscribe to the channel. We will be live. I will actually do more instant reactions if he gets the chance to watch his Chargers on the east side, maybe he'll jump in and give you instant reaction whether they win or lose. But I'll give you guys more instant reactions since those are popping off and you guys are loving them. And with that, take care. Enjoy your weekend.